Hello, Digitrix, GM.
Hey, buddy Jam, bro. What's good, man?
Everything is good. Thank you very much for joining on. Getting in. So, before we actually start, would you be joining us with the video, or is just gonna be audio? Thank you.
I just wanna be audible.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good then. So, I think we're starting now. GM, sir. We have Digitrix over here today. Thank you very much for joining us on today's episode of the Sing Podcast. This is our
Sorry, not.
Is that what?
Yeah, it's actually Digitech.
Okay, Digitech. Okay. Sorry, I actually got the name wrong because I was still trying with the name, but no problem. So, thank you very much for joining us on today's episode on CC Podcast. So, we hope to learn more from you and to assimilate more from you. So, about the introduction, I am Castle. I am the host for CC Podcast, the Nigerian podcast community, whereby we actually educate the Nigerian community about crypto life and web3 life as a whole. So, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Clint?
Are you there with us, Digitech?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Oh, yeah. So, I was asking about the introduction of myself.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on your podcast. So I appreciate you big time, man. My name is Digitech Trades. That's my brand, and I am a full-time Web3 enthusiast. I'm a Web3 educator, right? I teach, and I also onboard people, Web3 enthusiasts, right? I'm a blockchain fan. I love the blockchain tech, and I try to make the most of it, right? I'm also a content writer and a marketer, right? And I help market projects and help them meet their target audience or users. It's also, I help to manage communities, right? Crypto communities, and I'm also ambassadors to top top crypto projects, rather. And yeah, that's me basically. I'm also a space host, right? And I help to collaborate with projects to achieve their goals and their targets, right? I help to build plans as well, and I serve as advisors to some Web3 projects, some crypto projects as well.
Okay. Thank you very much for your brief introduction. You actually did a lot of what you do. I heard you are actually the real ONC in the Web3 skills, I must say. And I've also seen you, then the way you actually post on your Twitter handle, and the way you actually handle things, the way you socialize. I must say, I also looking up to you. As one of the idols for the crypto social space. So thank you very much for the introduction. So we're going to be moving over to the topic of the day. So the topic for the day is influence of Web3 on your physical life. So the topic is quite self-explanatory. We actually have the influence there, we have the Web3, and we have your physical life. So all this are actually going together with themselves. And so people have actually been able to work it out, but some have not been able to work it out. They've still been on the edge or inside or outside in either way. So before I start, what is your thought on this topic, and what is your definition about the topic?
Well, it's an incredible topic for real. So kudos to you and your team for bringing up this incredible topic to be discussed today. Right. I think I'm gonna have a good ride discussing this with you because it's an area of Web3 that is so underrated, right? A lot of people do not pay attention to this, uh, and do not even realize that this business has a lot of influence on you as a person, as an individual, directly and indirectly. So I, yeah, let's have it right. It's going to be an interesting topic. I'm cool with it, big time.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Thank you very much for that. So, let's move over to here. Okay. So, the topic, which is the influence of Web3 on your physical life. So, firstly, we're actually going to be looking at influence. I mean, what is influence and how can it be on a person? I mean, what can influence be on you, or how can you act as an influence to others? So, that's what we're actually going to be starting with. So, you can go on.
All right. Influence can be looked from different perspectives, right? Can be looked from leadership perspective, can also be looked from followership perspective, and of course, life's perspective and our endeavors, right? So talking about in respect to the topic for today, right? Influence of Web3 and personal lives. It's more like you look at the things that we are subject to, our lifestyle, right? Our choices and how this thing affects us, right? What is the influence that we're talking about here? Basically, how we are being somehow controlled or somehow subject to the fact that we realize that this is the impact of what we're doing, but yet we can only have little or no control because we've chosen to be here, right? We've chosen to do this that we do. So influence is more like when, in this perspective now, influence is more like when you are subject to something, right? Something that it's higher than you, something that you pay attention to, something that you try to work in line with. Now, talking about influence from leadership to followership, right? Having influence on communities because you are more like an authority figures to them. You are more like a leader to them. You are also more like an influencer to them because you guide, right? They look up to you as mentor. They look up to you as someone that is more knowledgeable. They look up to you as someone who is enlightened more than them, as someone with value, which of course they can get values from, right? So influence, right, goes a long way to making impact on people, and you yourself subject to something of an influence means that which you are subjected to also becomes influential to you, right? Web3, in this perspective now, it's more like an influence on us, right? On we, the Web3 enthusiasts, because we look up to the opportunities that these guys present, that Web3 itself present, the currency, blockchain tech present, right? We look at to how we can make the most of it. Therefore, its influence over us now, it's now making us subject to the tech, right? Because we are trying to get value from the tech. We're trying to make the most of the tech. We're trying to be the best of the tech. Therefore, the influence of the tech, we are now subject to the tech and the influence over we, the lovers of the tech, and over every other person. And that's why you see that full-time tech enthusiast, full-time blockchain enthusiast, full-time Web3 enthusiast, they rarely have time for themselves, bro. I mean, it's crazy. So the influence, it's way bigger than what we can control, especially if you are someone who is ready to go in fully, right? Not like someone who is a part-time enthusiast, right? As a full-time enthusiast, this shit has a lot of influence on you. So yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Thank you very much for what you just laid down right now. I mean, at the last point where you actually mentioned, it's very actually half time. I mean, I've been trying to chase this session with you. I'm going to 2 weeks now. I'm so happy we're actually finally having it, and I'm so happy. So you mentioned the point about yes. You mentioned the point about like the influencers and some other things. There has actually been something that has been bothering me for a while now, which is about the influencers. I mean, I know we're actually having our topic, but this is a podcast. We have every right to drag anybody or drag any matter. So, most influencers have actually looked up to in this space. I noticed something which is about them. I mean, each time they actually post something regarding cryptocurrency, I've actually seen this in other people, but I noticed that we as Nigerians don't foster this thing, which is about disclaimer. In Nigeria over here, we actually don't really use that disclaimer word. So disclaimer actually acts as something that it warns you that, okay, you are actually doing this at your own risk. So if peradventure or anything actually happens, it's all on yourself, not on the person actually posting this, or not on the person that actually like giving you the guide. So without this disclaimer, you see some of them tend to like post under the comments. If for instance their money goes haywire, you see that they start going on that comments, be like, you robbed us, you did this, you did that, you will not check on your again, report the account, something like that. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I understand. So let me comment, right? We are coming from the Web 2 into Web 3, right? There are Web 2 influencers and there are Web 3 influencers, right? And every field have their own terminology, right, that guides them. Now, for Web 2, yes, you will hear words like disclaimer on content, right? For Web 3, we don't use disclaimer. We use not a financial advice, NFA. And then we also use DY.
Do your own research.
So yeah, I'm sure you see that on content, right? Now, that is our own disclaimer. That is our terminology, and that's what we use, right? We try to work with the terminology of our field and not adopt from the terminology of other fields, right? So why you won't see disclaimer most times on Web3 content, but you will see not a financial advice, NFA, and of course DYOR, which is do your own research. That is our own way of putting disclaimer in there, right? And of course in Web3 is so broad, bro. And there are some contents you make, right, that do not require NFA or DYOR. Why? Depends on the context which you are coming from, right? If you are putting out educational content, why do I have to put NFA or DYOR, right? When it doesn't involve you spending your funds, right? But you see content that has to do with that has to do with you as a user now spending your money. That is when you see DYOR and of course NFA. Do your own research. Why? Because we are not in control of the market, right? For example, I trade, I give signals most times. I give you a signal and I expect you to have little knowledge of what you are doing, not just follow blindly, right? And even if you have little knowledge of what you're doing, you need to make your own decision, because this is finance, man. You have to make your own personal financial decision. Therefore, you would see that I will put NFA and DYOR, right? But if I'm making other contents, right, that doesn't have to do with you spending your money, but rather I'm giving you value from what's my head, from my own research, educating you on a particular subject, then I do not need to put DYOR or NFA, right? And then another aspect is probably when we are marketing for projects, right? When we do our research and this project is actually coming up with a good utility, all right, and then they want us to bring in their target users, target audience, right? In most cases, we indicate that this is a paid promotion, right? And also, in most cases, when there is no need for that, we do not indicate. Why? Because we are not putting any of our users at risk. You understand?
That is true. I mean, what actually made me bring this up was because I saw some followers of a particular influencer is in Nigeria. He actually tried in. He posted something about a betting platform, and he posted his withdrawal. So it was like, okay, this is the betting platform. This is what I gained from, I think, 1 week or 2 weeks gameplay or something like that. Said for 1 week or 2 weeks gameplay that is what he gained. That they should go for it. He did not put any link, but he just said they should go for what's betting platform. Then some people were commenting on that. Why would you just put something like this? You don't put DYOR or NFP or disclaimer or anything. Just tell us to support it. Meanwhile, we have most gambling like when you're actually going in like that, after giving like few people, they'll just start leveling everybody on their own say that okay, if you go like this, you go like this. So they started to save their money. And you didn't put anything on this. And this is the gambling site for Christ's sake, because most gambling sites you see people that like, they will post it right there, either eating or do your own research, or it's not financial advice, just go for it, something like that. So I mean, it was quite funny, and they kept trying him that he even had to take people that he does not concern anybody what he's doing, that they should leave him alone, but he started dropping what is giving him his own money. But they did it.
Yeah. I can relate. I mean, I have colleagues that are like that, right? I have key opinion leaders in their hundreds of thousands that are like that we know, right? But then people need to understand that in as much as everyone is claiming to be an influencer, they have personalities as humans, right? Your personality as human would always surface at one point or the other on your journey to success, right? Where some people may be humble at the initial phase, right? The time that they start amassing wealth or seeing good wins, you see that their pride and their arrogance, right? And of course their disrespect for their fellow humans, irrespective of class, age, or gender, starts to surface, right? So it's no surprise that one can be that arrogant. Now, in such a scenario, what that person should have done is to indicate that, hey, either this is a paid promotion or simple, do your own research, and this is not a financial advice. Of course, you will need to make money with your finance, but you need to make that decision on your own, not based on what I tweet or based on what I wrote. Do you understand?
That's
So,
true.
coming from that perspective, right, people are different opinion, different lifestyle, different background, different belief, different culture, different upbringing, different environment, and all these factors, right, combine together to make one's personality. So yeah, there are people, influencers, who are genuine, and there are the ones who rip off their followers, right? And then there are also the ones who do not give a damn about what their followers think about them, forgetting that these were people that actually combine together to make you that influencer. Because it's a two-way thing, right? Depend on me, I depend on you, right? So it's more like you scratch my back, I scratch your back. So without those people following him, he will not be an influencer. He's more like an ordinary guy, right? And of course, without those people following him, nobody is going to recognize him as a follower, as an influencer per se. So people are different, and that's just what people need to understand. Therefore, if you are following an influencer, it is your own duty as an individual, to everyone listening to this podcast. It is your duty to study people's personality. You can know people just by what they write, how they interact with their followers, how they talk, and of course, and know what works for you as a follower. If someone is not giving you value for your time, value for your followership, use the unfollow button, bro. That's it, man.
Simple. It's simple. Thank you very much for your pointing on that. I mean, you actually said it all, because I was feeling like he just kept going back, like you said that is his feed that he knows what he did before he could get to that place. That he did this and that. I was just laughing because I remember I'm following several. I don't know if you know him, official Harvard. It's someone that I actually look up to on the state, and it's also even name. So he posted a project like that. So unfortunately, something went wrong. Then you actually see some people opening into his Telegram group. Then they are shouting, they're like, this, that. Okay, these people, they broke my one way down. And from day one, I actually noticed the guy. Anything he posts, he will put that disclaimer under it, or do your own research. Don't just jump into it. Do your own research. Do your own research. Also, still people will not see here, or they will still go for it. So thank you very much for your explanation of interest. I mean, you actually explained it all. So we're supposed to be starting the other segment right now. So can you just log into the other one so we just start it up? So this one doesn't end up abruptly. So we just start the main topic itself.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us back. So, we're actually going to be moving over to the main topic itself, which is the influence of web3 on our physical life. I mean, we already talked about majorly on influence, but right now I'm actually going to talk about the influence of web3 on your physical life. So, recently, I actually had a discussion with a fellow guest that I actually brought on stage. I mean, we were actually talking about how influence actually be on your web, like your normal life and health. So, let me give my own take about this. I mean, how it has actually affected in my real life. So, I started cryptocurrency in the year 2018. Yes, but that time I actually just finished school there. So, when I started with airdrop, just like every other person. Telegram airdrop, but on the Clickball, Ethereum ball, and some other things like that, and Telegram. So the rest is there. I cut off just the fact that I was getting any money or any gains from it. And I came back in 2021. That time I was actually already in a polytechnic in Nigeria. So it was not that easy, like going in and going out, but I think all of it was during that time I was able to bag my first airdrop, which was I think around $15 on one crypto project like that. So after there I was now trying to like venture in, venture out, but so was always like a little bit of a major problem, trying to like go in and out. And the course I was doing is not any easy course because architecture. So you have to be on your board almost every time. That's the reason why I actually even entered Twitter Spaces. I was majorly on the Twitter Spaces. I was attending this, I was attending that, but still, I didn't give up. But ever since then, this is the fact that right now I am not in school. I am on the year parallel, like fifth parallel, the next parallel. So that's the only reason why you can see me that I have time for things like this, for this podcasting and the way everything is going. How do you think it will actually feel if you're actually a student and trying to balance with your life, or if you are a job man and you actually had a physical job and trying to balance with your real life, or if you're someone that is into import and exporting, or a techie like into coding and some other things, how do you balance with your real life?
All right, thank you very much for that. First of all, I give you kudos for being here even early before me, right? Because you came in 2018.
Yes.
Aside that 2018, 2017, I had a chance to then when Bitcoin was still P2P, right? I had a chance to do that, to get some Bitcoin. Well, because of this Ponzi scheme, then MMM and the likes, right? I mean, I could give a GA and PH quickly within 7 days. So I paid attention to the P2P aspects of when I need to refer someone before I earn and all of that aspect of Bitcoin then, right? So but before then, I've always been someone that is passionate about the internet. I mean, I've been a computer guru as far back as 2006, right? When the likes of cyber cafes were still on, where you buy tickets in cafes and you go online, saw the internet and all of that, right? I've always been a big guy when it comes to the internet. So even while I was in school, now I'm giving you this story. So I'll come to you where you talked about being a student and being a crypto enthusiast, right? So even while I was in school, right, I had an internet business of my own that I managed personally for 5 years while going to school, right? So during the time of MMM, in the time of 2017, 18, 19, I was in school and I was also managing my internet business, right? Now, fast forward to my fourth year to my final year, I started web3. Now, I never knew anything cryptocurrency much. I never knew the blockchain tech. I never knew anything called web3, but I just started. How did I start? Started fully in 2020, right? When the smart contract saga or trend came in through Ethereum blockchain via Forsage, and of course Lionshare, right? Like I said, I've always been a big guy when it comes to the internet. I'm making the most of it. So wherever I see money on the internet, I dive in without looking back, especially the one that will give me a good return. Before the smart contract stuff came, I did NNU, right? I did NNU and I made money from there while having my own business in school, right? So I made money from there. It was from NNU I connected to the guy that introduced me to Forsage in 2020. So imagine 2017, 18, 19, NNU, then 2020, the same person, right, gave me the update about Forsage. I registered, did everything. Then the P2P that I ran away from, right, during the Bitcoin P2P time, I saw it in the smart contract period of Forsage and Lionshare, right? So that was when, because then that was when the lockdown started initially around March. So I was like, I can't sit at home doing nothing. I can't go to work, obviously. school is not on section. What do I do? So I was forced to learn the P2P stuff because I needed referrals to earn more with Foresight. And that was what changed the game. That was what brought my attention to crypto. So then Ethereum was less than $200 then. Bitcoin was less than $6,000 then. BNB was around $10 thereabouts, right? But hey, bro, I never bought any of these guys, man. I mean, I didn't have much knowledge, and then I didn't have much liquidity. So when I raised liquidity from the smart contract stuff, immediately I invested into learning. So I paid for classes, series of DeFi classes, and I started having knowledge and all of that. I told my guys who were more liquid than I am, hey, these things, Ethereum was, I think then in Naira ratio, it was 120,000 Naira, Ethereum, right? So I told my guys, hey, you can get one of these, at least. Get two of these. Get four. These guys have money more than I have, right? But, because I do not have evidence, right? They didn't really pay attention to me. Only one was my friend in Ghana bought 3 at the rate of 300. Right, that was less than $800 then, right? And when Ethereum bumped to $4,000, the guy paid $12,000 within the space of 6 months, right? So for some that is about 9.6 million Naira then. Now, this is me not giving the alpha that I never took advantage of, right? But then I was investing in knowledge. I learned. I spent the whole of 2020 learning, and of course, relearning. Then fast forward to 2021, I graduated December 2021, right? Now, why am I telling you this? As a student, I was still doing my job, my normal wage job, and of course, my crypto knowledge. Now, there were times that I had to suffer. I didn't believe I had to be the best student. No. I believe average students make the most of life opportunities. I don't need to be an A student for me to prove that I'm intelligent. Why? Because I'm way ahead of my classmates when it comes to exploring life and, of course, knowing what I want after school, right? So I don't believe that I need to have 100 over 100 in my exam. I believe that me having my 69 to 70, which gives me an A or B, is enough. I don't chase 100 over 100. Therefore, I divided my time into learning other fields like managing my business and, of course, learning how to make money off the blockchain. Excuse me. So that was how I managed my school, managed my business, and of course still managed to learn. Because if I had waited till I finished school, it would take me another 1 year, right, to get the knowledge I wanted. And by that time, I'll be under more pressure, right? Because now I'm a graduate. So as a student listening to this podcast, you don't need to chase an A. You don't need to be the best student in your class, man. You need to be the best student in life. That is it. Yeah, be the best student in life, because life on its own is a school. It's an academy, right? That people don't realize. Don't try to be an A student in class and be an F student in life, right? Carrying degrees here and there as a first class student, but financially you are an F student. Why? An F student in school is an A student in life, right? So that was how I managed my time. Now, coming to the influence of web3 on my personal life, it has been an incredible yet an exciting and exhausting one. Now look at it. Look at the word incredible, exciting, and exhausting. Web3 is one of the most overwhelming space. It's one of the overwhelming niche that anyone can venture into. You can be a Web3 enthusiast, but not a full-time Web3 enthusiast. Therefore, you have little time, right? But as a full-time Web3 enthusiast, knowing that this is what you have chosen to do. This is what you have dedicated your life to, right? It's more like your office. When you wake up in the morning, you get dressed, you go to work, you are being paid, I don't know how much you are being paid, right? But as a Web3 enthusiast that I am, I see this as my job. I see this as my niche. I see this as something that I love to do. Why do I love Web3? Freedom of time, bro.
Yeah.
I make the most of it, man. Right? I work for projects. I market for projects and I'm being paid in foreign currencies. Right? I can go on break whenever I want. I travel whenever I want, as long as I have my mobile and of course my PC with me. I travel whenever I work. Sometimes on transit, I'm working, right? I'm on my laptop working. I'm in a series of meetings, helping developers, right? Brainstorming with developers, helping them build solid projects and all that. Now, all this, traveling here and there, meeting people, right? Not just meeting people. What makes it so exhausting? Yes, I have time to myself, but in essence, I don't have time to myself. Now, imagine you've been trying to schedule me for this podcast for over a month now, right? Yeah, I know some people will feel that this man is too busy or forming busy, as they said. But in reality, it's not what it seems, man. Right? I've been on meetings this morning till 12. I had to leave the meeting to attend to this podcast. After now, I have a space by 2 p.m. Right? I have another space by 8 p.m. And all this, I try to manage myself to ensure that I do not miss out on opportunities that are coming my way, not in terms of meeting, but in terms of my job. Right? Like I said, I do, right? I hold space, I hold educational spaces, and currently I am planning a school tour around Nigeria for the next 5 to 10 years, 2 schools per year. Right? I have my team. I will just spoke last night, tried to draft out the white paper, the roadmap, and all of that. So all these things makes it so overwhelming that it is now affecting me in a way that I do not really feel comfortable. How? Right? Body changes. Right? You see. My body changing, not really changing for the bad, but right now I feel like I need to resume the gym because I stopped gymming, right? I feel that I need to resume the gym because I feel my body no longer feel the same way it used to feel. Why? Because most of the time I'm always on transit, traveling, or I'm indoor on my PC, my workspace, working round the clock, right? Most times I do not sleep through the night. So in 24 hours on average, I've been having like 3 to 4 hours for the past 6 months, right? And these things, I know that they have some effects on me. In terms of fatigue, in terms of my body, emotions. Most times, I rarely go out these days, right? Apart from maybe 1 or 2 occasions, I rarely go out to go socialize, right? On Sundays, when I'm supposed to take some rest, I hold spaces every Sunday to educate my community and use that as an opportunity to onboard people into Web3. And it has been happening for the past 6 months, right? Series 1 to Series 26 from March, right? That's when we started Series 1, and it's been every Sunday back to back. I think we've only missed one Sunday when I was having that challenge that week, right? So you can imagine my lifestyle when people are having fun weekends,
right? I am having fun on my laptop. Not really fun, but fun. You understand? So, and then you can imagine that I do not really have time for most of my friends, right? My friends, my two friends, they've been complaining we're too busy, we're always acting busy here and there, but they do not understand that this is the nature of my work, right? Therefore, when they plan for us to go out and have fun, I'm always taking excuse, right? Giving excuse that, hey, I can't go, I have things to do, right? So this is more like the consequences of my decision, right? This is more like the consequences of what I've ventured into. Not just my friends, my family, right? My family, most times when I am on spaces, when I'm doing my job, I do not really have time to go on calls with them. I am limited by the number of times I speak with them per week, right? I am limited to most time not even talking to them for a whole week because one will say, why can't you fish out time to speak to them? Like, not that we don't speak, but not as we used to do before. Why? Because of the nature of my job, right? If I'm not in a meeting, I am trying to carry out my airdrop. Else, people look up to me, right? Therefore, I am supposed to lead by example. Imagine people looking up to me, winning the alphas I give them, and me that they look up to that give them the alpha, I didn't find time to participate in it, right? It doesn't say good. You understand? Yeah, it doesn't go well for me. So, and then the fact that I need to upskill in knowledge because the space keeps evolving, right? If you go out for 2 weeks, right, you leave the space for 2 weeks and come back after 2 weeks, it will take you about 4 to 5 days to update yourself on what has been happening for the past 2. Most times 1 week to catch the alphas that was shared, and in most cases you must have missed out on alphas that could have given you good amount of win of money, right? Therefore, you see that there is need for me to make a time to upskill, to learn, to unlearn and relearn, because what worked last year, right, may not be what's going to work this year. What was trending 2 weeks ago may not be what's going to trend today. Right now we have different platforms coming up, different projects with good utilities coming up, and there is need to constantly research on them to keep yourself updated in such a way that when you are called to speak, right, you won't speak as someone who is knowledgeable, as someone who is leading, and as someone who people look up to. Therefore, there is a lot of side effects. There is a lot of disadvantages, right, that one experiences when you come into this space, not just as a regular user, but as someone with influence, as someone who's knowledgeable, and then of course as someone with value to offer to people, to projects, developers, and the likes. So yeah, that's it, man.
Thank you very much for all the points you've actually laid out so far. I mean, you've actually almost even said it all. I don't know what I say. You said it all already because you mentioned most of the key points that was already laying down. I was need to just show them at you when you're actually answering. So thank you very much for those points. I mean, like when you actually said about those and it's cool that, I mean, as a human being or as a person, you are not limited to one boundary. You are limited to countless boundaries. It's not left to decide how far or how great you can go. Not only a human being. As a Nigerian, we have this in our blood that we cannot stick to one thing because due to the fact of our nature, the country's nature, we can't stick to one thing. We have to explore and go more. I mean, most Nigerians, you can see many people that will be having like over 5 job how do I put this? Like 5 jobs that they are actually doing, that they are actually good at. 5 things they actually be good at. Like different sorts of trading employment here and there. So, obviously on my screen, or at share my screen, I'm having been crypto.com. They're also explaining the impacts of Web3 on our lives. Over here, we're having upskilling the world. Moving on, other people are going to have to become more IT literate, because, I mean, those from Web2, or let's say Web1, let me go down Web1, because we have some people that have they still believe Bitcoin is scam. In Nigeria, they're still believing Bitcoin is fake, that Bitcoin is the app. Can you get Bitcoin? So actually, just if you provide my money, you'd be like, what is Bitcoin? Somebody like that, let's say somebody in Bitcoin, I mean, he loses so much money. Check it out, or it's if it's not all those let's say that if you don't lose all your money, or you can sell your house. So something like that. So this adds this upside. I mean, imagine a world future where most people are literate, and that's one programming language. The number of applications will skyrocket, and society would be able to make vast progress in myriad ways. However, this might take a bit of time, as a learning curve when it comes to developing technology is quite steep. So this is also part of what you actually mentioned, that with time, I mean, no element is left untouched if you are the person that likes the time quite well. If you are the kind of person that, okay, this is your set goal, we set your time, set everything, you would surely have time for Web3 and how you schedule out your things. Just like the way we have in this team Web3. Recently, I was able to know that we have Web3 events actually do happen in Nigeria here. And I recently attended one from Insmart. I even tagged it on my profile. I pinned it up on my Twitter profile. So if we can actually attend more of days like this, that thing we are looking for in this Web3 space, we might find it more easier attending events like this. I mean, if you are the kind of person that you are looking for networking, you are looking for connection, you are looking for content, you are looking for development, you can also find it from this type of event. I mean, nothing is less for the minds to accumulate knowledge. So, before we actually round up, we're actually on far out time. I also noticed that you actually you do trades, because your name is Digitech Trade, right? So for the traders in the house that are really into trading and none of that other trading, or they kind of find it difficult balancing that trading that they are into. I mean, you have to look at the market, study this, study that, and they're trying to balance trading into their normal life. What is the advice here for that?
All right. Thank you very much. If you would permit me to diversify it a little bit, right? I would be very glad. I don't want to be constrained by those focusing on traders, right?
Okay. Yeah, sure. No problem.
Yeah, because this is the mistake that people make, right? You can be anything you want to be. You can be a lot of things if you are willing to, and if you are ready to put in the work. Now, I have personally evolved over the years. I started off as a DeFi researcher, evolved into a trader, evolved into a forex trader, and of course crypto trader, evolved into a content writer, evolved into a marketer, brand strategist, ambassador, and advisors to projects. Now you look at my development so far and you may think, hey, this was done within a year. Hell no, this wasn't done within a year. This was done as a result of my hunger and pursuit of wealth and knowledge.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to focus generally on Web3 enthusiasts, or people who think that crypto, blockchain, Web3 is a scam.
Yeah.
One thing I will tell you, that the highest form of slavery is nothing but illiteracy, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding of what you don't know about. When people don't know something, what they use as self-gratification to satisfy their illiteracy is by talking down on that particular thing to feel good. It makes them feel like they are doing themselves good, right? But in essence, you are doing yourself more harm than good, because you will end up remaining an illiterate in that field and will never make the most of it. Why you see people with their flashy cars living the life that they want? Why? Because they have made the most of it through knowledge, right? And then another perspective you look into is that people are scared to take action. People are scared to venture. People are scared to take risks. People are scared and lazy to learn, right? Too lazy to sit themselves down and study. Too lazy to stay awake and study. Rather, they sleep. A lot of people who call cryptocurrency scam, 95% of them are in this category, right? I've done statistics, I've done research, I've asked questions, and I can tell you that this is why they call it scam. Not because they've lost money, but because they fell into these categories. Now, for those people who want to be Web3 enthusiasts, traders, content writers, listening to this, the first thing you need to do is to learn, then unlearn, and of course relearn, because you need to keep evolving. First of all, unlearn from the mindset that you cannot be a Web3 guy, or you cannot make the most of cryptocurrency and of course the blockchain, because you can't take away blockchain from cryptocurrency, right? You can't take away cryptocurrency from blockchain, vice versa. I mean, you can't talk about blockchain without cryptocurrency, and so you need to learn. You need to learn. You need to learn. You need to unlearn. And of course, you need to be consistent and have an investor's mindset. It's very important. Why people quit easily, why people give up easily, is because they came into this space with the mindset of getting rich quick. But if you come into the space with an investor's mindset, you will be patient, you will be diligent. Investors are like hunters that wait for opportunities before they hunt, before they shoot. They wait for their prey. Now, people who are impatient end up losing. Right? If it's time up, just let me know, right?
Yeah, sure.
Or you can just spend me 5 more minutes. I need to.
No.
This is very important. Yeah.
We have 8 minutes more, so you can.
All right, 8 more minutes. All right, cool. I will try to round up with this. Now, for anyone coming into this space, have an investor's mindset. Be you a trader, be you an airdrop farmer, be you a DJ guy, be you a researcher, be you a guy who just want to learn. Learning is a process. Web3 is a process too. Therefore, you cannot make the most of this space without knowledge and without patience. I've been here for 3 years and 6 months now, right? I never dreamed I'll be here today, but I had long-term mindset. I gave myself from 2020 to 2025, right? I bought into coins at the peak of the bull market, right? I lost 100% of all of them. Did I quit? No. I got liquidated more than 50 times. Did I quit? No. I lost millions. Did I quit? No. Have I won and recovered everything 100x? Yes, I have. You cannot win if you don't lose. And if you don't want to lose, then you cannot win. Investors take risk, and that's what sets them different. Traders take risk, calculated risk. To sometimes it plays, most times doesn't play. But you learn. Life is not promised to be easy, and that is how Web3 is. But if you are dogged enough, if you are stubborn to tell yourself that no matter what, I'm going to learn this thing. If you have the knowledge, wait. If you don't have the knowledge and you want to keep simping for influencers, simping for giveaways, waiting for one win in a year, right? You will keep begging and remain where you are till the point where you get frustrated and go back to Web2 jobs, and then you call it to scam. It's not scam. You are the scam because you failed to learn. You are the scam because you are lazy to put it. You understand? Now, for traders, because trading is very volatile, it is not enough to have the skills. It is not enough to know how to draw fancy lines, to get the chart complicated, to know when to buy and when to sell. No, that is just 30% of your trading skills. Trading will test your emotion. Trading will test your patience. Trading will bring out the real person in you. If you are impatient, if you are the greedy type, right, it will bring out everything in you and it will break them down one after the other. To the extent that it will mold you and refine who you are, especially if you are the one that have made up your mind to be a full-time trader. Therefore, you need to know how to master your emotions. Because if you do not master your emotion, you keep making decisions out of emotion and you get wrecked, right? You need to master patience, else you keep FOMOing into the market. You need to master how to miss opportunities that you do not spot on time, else you keep chasing trades. You need to master the market sentiment, master the market psychology, how the whales think, how the market makers think, how they do their trade. And of course, you need to have a mentor, someone that will put you on your tools, someone that will direct you, someone you will listen to on your journey to becoming a successful trader, right? And then you need to find a way to give yourself some distractions off the chart. Most times when you are too on the chart, on your screen, you tend to put yourself under pressure to take some trading decisions that you on normal day you would not take. So, as an upcoming trader, master these skills. Don't focus on learning how to draw chart alone. Focus on building your psychology as an individual, building yourself, developing your mental capacity, developing your emotional balance. These are the things and others that you need as to be a successful trader. And don't forget the things of study. Keep studying. There's never an end to knowledge.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that one. I mean, I wanted to both and the other time when we were actually we started talking about the advice. So, we actually have people that are really doing this. I mean, like people that are just joining the Web3 state. And when they join, they will be like, okay, I want to face this side of this game. I want to use it to earn. Or how can I actually earn in this Web3 space that it will actually be part of us? Like just like every other person earning Web3. How can I earn? I don't really have much in invest. So how do I earn? That's
all right. As a Web3 enthusiast, with no capital, right? The best place to start with zero capital is in the niche of airdrop. That's the best place to start with zero capital. Because even if you learn trading, you need capital to start implementing. You learn DeFi, you need capital to buy those blue cap jets and flip. Or you want to come into the space with zero capital and you don't want to go into airdrop, then go into content writing. This will take you a while. Go into content making. This will take you a while to build your audience. to build your community, to build your followers. But at the end of the day, you'll be paid by projects after putting in the work and building your brand. Then you can now start applying to projects to market for them, write for them, or help them build their brand based on your knowledge. Then you can also, with zero capital, or you have the knowledge, look at project building and apply to be the ambassadors. You can make as high as $10,000 by being a project ambassador for real in a year.
Yes.
Right? You are being paid either in their token or in stables as an ambassador. This is one of the best and easiest way. Right? If you don't have idea, apply first. There's what we call learn on the job. You can start also by learning on the job. Apply to be a community moderator, Discord handler. You manage your community with zero capital and you are being paid in dollars. $50, $100 per week. $200, $400, $500 per week as a community manager or a moderator. As an ambassador, you can earn up to $1,000 in dollar per month. Right? So, with zero capital, you can start from there. Then build yourself. Will it be easy? No, of course it will not be easy. You have to suffer it. You have to endure. If you believe, then you have to push and learn and start from there. Then from there, you diversify into other fields. You diversify into other aspects of Web3, and that's how you grow. But the thing I would tell people is that start from somewhere, then diversify. Start from somewhere, be the best at it, then diversify into other field. Over time, if you have the investor's mindset, investors think long term. We are not short-minded people. You think long term, then you start the work now and build yourself into the future. Then make the most of it.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I mean, it has actually been an amazing sector so far. You've been dropping a lot of episodes, a lot of Web3 advisable words, I mean, for this podcast. And I must say, those that are listening to it, there's no way, one way or the other, that would have learned one or two things. So thank you very much, Digitech, for joining us on here today. I mean, about taking your time and dedicating to us to join us here today. Really appreciate it. Even though we're not really like that big of a podcast here, we're still going, and I will actually get the audiences once very soon. Thank you very much once again. It's been an informative podcast so far. I mean, an informative session so far. So we hope to see you someone time, probably another episode. We don't know, but we hope to see you some other time. Thank you very much once again.